Thank you for choosing the ISpring RCCP Series Reverse Osmosis System. You have purchased one of ISpring's finest residential reverse osmosis water filtration systems. With proper installation and maintenance, this water filtration system will provide you with clean and refreshing drinking water for years to come. Please follow the instructions in the video for proper installation procedures. Before we begin, please make sure your water pressure is 30 psi or above. If your water pressure is higher than 70 psi, a pressure regulator may be needed. The system operating temperature range is 40 degrees to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The system requires drilling a 1/4-inch hole into the under-sink drain pipe for wastewater. The system may require drilling a 1/2-inch hole into the sink or countertop for faucet installation. Carefully read the attention and warning notice on the system packaging. Check that all parts were included in the package that your RO system arrived in, and have all the required tools ready. Installation: Feed water adapter. RCCP series RO systems are designed for under-sink water use. Please clean out space under the sink before installation. The feed water adapter fits common 1/2-inch and 3/8-inch connectors. If you have a different size fitting, you will need a converter. Step 1. Turn off the cold water supply valve under the sink and turn on the faucet to drain out any air and water in the connector hose. Step 2. Unscrew the faucet connector hose. Be prepared to catch any excess water from the hose with a towel. Step 3. Install the feed water adapter to the cold water supply valve and tighten it with a wrench. Please ensure the O-ring is seated properly inside the adapter to prevent leaks. Step 4. Reinstall the faucet connector hose to the feed water adapter and tighten it with a wrench. Step 5. Turn the feed water valve to the off position. Insert the red tubing 1/2 inch deep into the quick connect fitting, then insert a locking clip to lock the tubing in place. Measure and cut the tube. Installation: Drain saddle. Step 1. Choose a convenient spot on the drain pipe for installing the drain saddle and tubing. A horizontal pipe is recommended to minimize the dripping sound. Step 2. Drill a 1/4-inch hole into the drain pipe. Paste the black sticky pad around the hole to prevent leaks. Step 3. Cut the end of the black tubing tip to create a 45-degree angle. Insert the tubing through the drain saddle to the drain pipe. Then, tighten the nut to secure tubing. Step 4. Install the back plate and tighten the 2 screws with hex nuts while the tubing remains in the hole. Pull the tubing lightly to make sure it is secure. Installation: RO drinking faucet. Choose a suitable flat surface on the sink or countertop to install the drinking faucet. If your kitchen sink does not have a pre-existing hole, you will need to drill a hole 1/2 inch to 1.5 inch diameter. Step 1. Clean and dry the sinkhole area. Step 2. Insert the front plate, then the rubber washer into the faucet base. Step 3. Insert the faucet into the sinkhole. Step 4. From under the sink, insert the rubber washer followed by the wing nut into the faucet stem. Tighten the wing nut to secure the faucet. Step 5. Insert the quick connect coupling to the faucet stem. Step 6. Insert the blue tubing into the push-in adapter 1/2 inch deep and then insert a locking clip to lock the tubing in place. Step 7. Measure and cut the tubing. Leave enough tubing length for any future maintenance. Installation: Water storage tank. Step 1. Screw the tank valve to the water storage tank. Ensure the O-ring is seated correctly inside the tank valve to prevent leaks. Step 2. Insert the yellow tubing 1/2 inch deep into the tank valve. Step 3. Lock the tubing in place by inserting the locking clip. Make sure the tank valve is in the closed position. Installation: Reverse osmosis membrane. Step 1. Disconnect the push connect fitting on the membrane housing cap. Unscrew the cap by turning it counterclockwise using the housing wrench. all systems have been tested with pressurized water flow to ensure build quality before packing. It is normal to see a little water residue remaining in the membrane housing. Step 2. Unwrap and insert the membrane into the housing and make sure the membrane is seated flush with the housing. Step 3. Check that the membrane housing O-ring and housing cap O-ring are seated properly. Screw the cap back onto the housing. Use the housing wrench to tighten the cap with another quarter to half turn of the wrench. Do not over-tighten, as this can cause leaks and make future filter replacements difficult. Step 4. Connect the push fitting back to the membrane housing cap and secure it with a locking clip. Pre-filter wash. Filters posted in front of the reverse osmosis membrane are called pre-filters. We recommend performing a pre-filter wash every time you install or replace pre-filters to prolong the RO membrane service life and maximize the system performance. Step 1. Twist the housings clockwise to unscrew stage 1, 2, and 3 filter housings. Take out and unwrap all filters. Step 2. Insert the filters back into their housings and ensure the housing O-rings are properly seated to prevent leaks. Step 3. Twist the housings counterclockwise onto the housing caps. Use the housing wrench to tighten the housing with another quarter to half of a turn. Do not over-tighten, as this can cause leaks and make future filter replacements difficult. Step 4. Remove the locking clip and insert the red tubing from the feed water adapter to the system water inlet fitting. Step 5. Remove the locking clip and remove the red tubing from the pre-filter water outlet. Insert the black tubing from the drain saddle to the pre-filter water outlet fitting. Ensure all tubing is inserted half an inch deep into the fittings, and lock the tubing in place by inserting the locking clip. Step 6. Turn on the cold water supply valve and slowly turn on the feed water valve. Let the water fill and flush the pre-filters for at least 5 minutes. Check and ensure that no leaks occur. Step 7. Shut off the feed water valve. The pre-filter wash is now complete. Installation. Leak stop valve. The system comes with a leak stop valve that can automatically shut off the inlet water from entering the water system when it detects a leak, effectively protecting your home from water damage. The valve is highly sensitive to water. Install it with extra caution, as the leak stop pad inside the valve will easily absorb water and expand. Thus, it will need to be replaced every time it contacts water. Step 1. Find a dry and flat spot under the sink close to the system to place the leak stop valve. Step 2. Connect the red tubing from the feed water valve to the leak stop valve's inlet port. Step 3. Connect the remaining red tubing from the system inlet to the leak stop valve's outlet port. Please make sure all tubings are inserted half-inch deep into the fittings. System installation. Step 1. Remove the black tubing from the pre-filter water outlet fitting. Be prepared to catch the excess water from the connection with a towel. Step 2. Remove the locking clip on the wastewater port. Connect the black tubing from the drain saddle to the system wastewater port. Lock the tubing in place by inserting the locking clip. Step 3. Connect the red tubing back to the pre-filter water outlet fitting. Lock the tubing in place by inserting the locking clip. Step 4. Connect the blue tubing from the drinking faucet to the final stage of your system. The final stage filter will be a post-carbon filter if you have a 5-stage system, and an alkaline filter, a deionization filter, or a UV filter if you have a 6 or 7-stage system. Lock the tubing in place by inserting the locking clip. Step 5. Connect the yellow tubing from the water storage tank valve to the post-carbon filter's T-fitting. Lock the tubing in place by inserting the locking clip. System startup. Please plug in the system to a power outlet. The booster pump will turn on automatically when water flows through. Step 1. Ensure the tank valve is in the closed position and no tubings are kinked. Step 2. Turn on the feed water valve and check the connections for leaks. Turn off the feed water valve and fix any leaks before moving on to the next step. Step 3. Turn on the drinking faucet to purge out all air. The water will start to purge within a few minutes. Step 4. Let the water run for at least 10 minutes to drain any residual materials from the membrane and filters. Step 5. Shut off the drinking faucet and turn on the tank valve. The water storage tank will now fill up. The tank usually takes about an hour to fill. Step 6. Do not use the first tank of water after the tank is full. We recommend draining out the tank twice before drinking any water. Turn on the drinking faucet to drain out the tank completely. When the tank is drained, the stream of water will slow to a trickle. Step 7. Shut off the drinking faucet to allow the tank to fill again for another hour. Step 8. Turn on the drinking faucet to drain the tank again. Step 9. Shut off the drinking faucet to allow the tank to fill again. Once the tank is full, your system is ready to use. Congratulations! Your ISpring reverse osmosis system installation is now complete. You can now enjoy clean and refreshing water from home. Please refer to the user manual or contact us directly if you have any questions.